Laugh yourself silly. A man was admitted in the hospital where he worked a long time ago. He was receiving IV therapy for a staph infection and was surprised when one of his pals from the pharmacy hand-delivered the next liter to be hung, with 3 goldfish circling inside. He and his buddy and his nurse laughed themselves silly. Then he schemed, "Don't tell the nurse on the next shift about the fish." At the change of shift, he hung the bag on an IV pole, taped the tubing from it to his IV line so it appeared to be connected. Then he pressed the call button and said, "My IV seems to have a problem." The newly hired nurse, recently out of school, entered the room and started checking the IV site at his wrist. As she was trained to do, seeing no problem, she traced the line upward, checking each connection. As she got halfway up to the middle of the tubes, the movement of one of the fish caught her eye. She shrieked so loudly that the patient jumped higher than she did. Even the fish jumped. Then they all laughed and laughed and laughed and laughed. The day after, a patient from an adjacent room stopped at the doorway. "You know," he said, "I've been in the hospital a lot recently, but this was absolutely my best hospitalization." "Why is that?" the nurse asked. "Because laughter is good medicine. Nurses and patients need a dose of it more often." Now, I'm not advising fish therapy or practical jokes at work, but I am advocating laughter to help us all heal.